Welcome to the Hustle and Motivate podcast. It's half of your host, Will Hawkins. Thank y'all for checking out today's episode. We're going to get right into it. We're respecting the hustle and we're motivating others in the process. Like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see y'all on the next one.
1,000.
Calling in like when she first.
Well, I was like, yo, you gotta meet Miss Carla. You gotta meet Miss Carla. She didn't put me on the game.
She first met.
That I didn't like you. I just thought
Took her a while to read me.
she really thinks he has.
Getting that video, boy, I knew what I was doing.
There is confidence, and then there is arrogant. And arrogant is confidence misplaced. And so once we had a chat about that,
She directed
She
it.
got you.
She directed it. She directed
became
it.
my son, because I could have said, he's an asshole. I can't deal with it. He's a lot. And he just got a big head and he thinks he's too much. Well, he really was too much. He was great. He was great at his craft. You were great at it.
Yeah.
And you
Didn't know
had
how to-
every bit of right to be confident. But
He hadn't
You-
earned it yet.
I was missing the humble part of it.
Right. Okay.
And that drive, she put me back.
Okay.
She reminded me
You gotta come down.
that there's a way
Yeah.
of showing people how great you
Yeah.
are.
There you go.
toot your horn.
She showed me how to do
Silently.
it. She showed me how to do
And
it.
so you have never, ever, no one can ever say that. I'm usually like the quiet storm.
Mm-hmm.
I stay in the cut. I
Just trying
don't
to turn up.
participate in, industry politics.
Mhm.
You'll never hear my name caught up in anything. I stay in the cut and do my thing. And I allow my successes to speak volumes for me.
Mhm.
That is the difference between confident and experience and that little bit of arrogance that we all carry.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So once Marcus and I kind of had friendly banter back and forth, and I said, I'm just going to get him on under my wing, and I'm just going to say, listen, you got all the time in the world to speak loudly. Right now, just hone your craft.
Hmm.
You don't, if you're so great, you never have to speak on your greatness. It speaks for you.
Mm-hmm.
So you two are great in my book. Like, I call you guys my sons, and I that's not something I give out to everybody, but I am so proud of the growth and the sustainability you guys have had, because this industry eats people.
It should have would have got us if we not.
You
Oh.
know why it eats people?
Yeah.
Because experience and talent is optional.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. We're
But
learning
if you
that.
have
Yeah.
talent and you gain experience, you go far and you stay in your craft,
Mhm.
and you earn a living at it that you can feed yourselves and your family. But when you come at it and you rush the process,
You burn out quickly.
I'll say
you're bad at.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
a defining moment. I'll say when I realized, she really cared about us. Remember we had that beach house wedding?
Oh,
The couple wanted to do that family shot outside on the beach, and you didn't have lights.
Yeah.
what
you
we
could-
do?
She pulled her cell phone out. And
Yeah.
made all us put our cell phones down.
You
can
focus.
Focus
Focus
see the
on
picture.
it. Yeah.
Some planners would have took that and ran your name in the ground.
Right, that I didn't know what I was doing.
You didn't know what you was doing because you didn't yet.
I had no idea.
And I
didn't-
remember how excited you were. I mean, we were around, he was ready. And what's wrong? He's like, I can't focus. Like, it's too dark. And all I saw was she was like, everybody take your cell phones out. That moment I
And I
saw
will
her.
tell you what,
She
that
cared
was one
about
of the
us.
most amazing pictures of the bunch.
It was.
The couple
They
loved that
loved it.
picture. And they were so caught up in the moment, and you kept telling them, just look at each other.
They never saw the light.
No,
We had 15 cell phones up
she
here
never.
and down here. And I thought, well, we're not going to let something like the sun got away from us take this moment. This was a great shot. That whole weekend was an experience and a learning experience for each of us. I mean, to take a residential beach house at Croatan, remove all the furniture,
Make it a real
and turn it into an actual venue.
Mm-hmm.
Over 3 different days, 3 different events. So we have the surprise party that was supposed to be their engagement party that turned out to be
the wedding.
wedding.
That was a Friday, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So, and then the next day they had their reception, big party. Like it was something that
And they were out of town.
they were from out
From
of town.
Texas.
All of the family from
They're from Denver.
They were living in Texas, weren't they?
I don't know. I thought
they were from, I think they're from Denver.
Them
was them.
But
Okay.
everybody,
Their family
They're
from Texas.
coming from. Okay.
nobody
so-
was
okay.
here to meet.
No.
One
No.
Talk,
person.
everybody
I
met the
never
day
them till
of.
they got here.
Yes.
I never met the couple until they got here. So what ended up happening was we just got a hold of the residents on that street in
Asked them
Croatan
for party.
and said, hey, is your house seasonal? Do you live here
Mhm.
right now? Would you like to rent it out? I can rent the entire house out. They rented 5 or 6 houses
So
for
everybody
their
stayed in.
stay
Wow.
right there.
I didn't know that.
And
I had
then
no
we had
idea.
out, the figure out the parking, and then I had Rev, my guy. I had him traditions doing the catering, and then the elevator broke, and we had like
I remember that.
4-story,
I remember that 'cause I had to drag
and
that
then
case
it
up.
was hot as blazes.
Yeah.
And but you know what? All my right people were there, and we rocked it out. What did Rev do? I can't cook in this hot house. He set up shop on the deck.
It sure did.
On
Yep.
the deck.
Yep.
And made it. We cook. You pick what you want, and we'll cook it in front of you, and we serve it right.
That's huge. Right.
And that's why it's important to align yourself with the right people in whatever industry you're in.
Mhm.
And as I turn to where I am now in my real estate career, I look at how I journeyed here. I started in real estate in 2000. This is my 24th year. And I have people that say, well, how did you get into real estate? You were always doing planning. No, I was always doing design.
Yep. Mhm.
And I transitioned into planning from there. But I always had a love of real estate since high school. And I wanted to get my real estate license in high school, and I didn't. And it stayed with me. So one of my clients who lived out on the golf course over near Cox High School, I forget the name of the golf course, but she lived over there, and I would do a design work for her in her new house. And she said, we were talking about real estate investing because this was a second home for them. Well, this second home was like an amazing first home by any means. And so I said, I always wanted to be a real estate agent. And she said, well, I think you should do it. You have the right personality. You rock it. You'd be great at it. It stuck with me. So several years later, my then husband, who was always on shore duty, got assigned to go away.
Oh no.
I closed my design company and went and got my real estate license
This was
in 2000. I went to real estate school in 99.
okay.
And I closed it because I needed to be home with my kids. We couldn't both be gone.
Right. Because okay, 'cause
I was
he's
gone
out on
all
the
the
boat
time.
at this point.
I was traveling up and down the East Coast
Designing.
doing design work for high-end apartment complexes.
Wow. So you had to
designing
let that go.
clubhouses and things. So I didn't let it go. I had done enough.
Uh-huh.
And it was time. And it was okay.
Were you bored with it at that point?
I was not bored with it, and I missed it, and it did hurt my feelings a little bit.
Mhm.
But you have to know when to make a change and not stay past an expiration date. So I had a
Okay,
choice
hold
to
on,
make.
hold on. When to make a change.
When to make a change
Uh-huh.
and not to stay or hold on to something past its expiration date.
But
That-
how do you know when
You just got to know. You just
Gotta
got to figure
know.
it out. and I was going to be gone.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't let my daughter, who was in middle school, take care of her baby sister.
That's just not going to work.
So I said, I'm going to go ahead and get that real estate license, and I am going to rock it. I am going to be the best real estate agent they've ever seen. I have to be, because that's how I got to earn a living.
You got to earn it. This is it,
I have no choice.
because you put your back up against the wall at this point.
So I ended up pivoting over into real estate, but still doing design as well.
Part-time.
Yeah.
Okay.
And mostly for my real estate clients.
Circling back to your dad and what you were saying about your dad, because he had something that was paying the bills
And something that fed
and
his
something
soul.
that fed his soul.
Mhm.
Got it.
So exactly.
Mhm.
So I decided to begin my real estate career, and then also not let go of the creative side of me, because
Mhm.
I've been breaking up crayons since I was a toddler. Like, I like broken crayons. They color too.
Mhm.
That's just my thing. I was the little kid who used to cut up paper and make dolls, and I cut the hem off of my pant and make a dress for my Barbie doll.
Mhm.
So I always had the creative bug. But I decided, I can't let go of design. And also over the years of working in commercial design, I had a project management background
Mhm.
that I learned from some amazing architects and engineers. And so I was able to take bits and pieces of all of my careers, put them into something that didn't just feed my family, but it helped change the trajectory of other people's lives
Because you happen to buy a home.
because I helped them buy a home. Home ownership is the #1 way for building wealth
True.
above
Mhm.
all other investments.
True.
Yep.
No matter what you do, no matter how many stocks you own, home ownership, and especially home ownership for minorities and Blacks in particular, can be the difference between between thriving and surviving, and it helps bridge the gap that we all know and experience is there in generational wealth.
Because there's no generational wealth. Because there is no home ownership, really.
We have to continue
We
to
haven't caught up to
Right.
that part.
when the statistics come out, one of the reports came out just today, and it says where Blacks lag behind others in home ownership. That's not new news. You're just putting it out in a different format. We've always lagged behind
Mm-hmm.
because of systemic racism and because of government entities that were allowed to be. In the 1940s, if you were going to, as a Black man, if you were going to get a home mortgage,
Mm-hmm.
if you were lucky enough to get one, you had to qualify on your income only. Your wife's income would not be allowed because she's a woman.
Wow.
That lessens the type of neighborhood you can move.
Can go to
Because the income
It's only for the male.
Is only from the man.
based on the male. Okay.
Didn't even matter if she was making more.
They're not counting it,
Did not count her.
which keeps us
wasn't
in a
until-
certain neighborhood.
It
It
keeps us in
out
certain,
of other.
yeah. And then it goes even deeper because now we're stuck in certain neighborhoods, usually the neighborhoods that others don't want to be in. And with global warming and climate change,
Mm-hmm.
people stuck in those neighborhoods are affected by their environment. Now we
Mhm.
have health challenges, and we know that we also have disparities in the health arena.
Mm-hmm.
So it goes so deep. But, it wasn't until the 1970s that a woman, Black or white, could even get a credit card or a mortgage in her own name without a man co-signing or vouching for her. That's my lifetime. Like that wasn't that long ago. So I take it very seriously to try and help younger people
Build that.
purchase homes, older individuals who have never owned a home in their life. Maybe they're in their 70s. You're like, well, why would you want to buy a house in your 70s or 80s?
To
Why
leave
not?
it for their children.
Why not?
Why not?
Yeah, why not?
They never were able to before. And then my other heartbeat in real estate is my military,
Mm-hmm.
Well,
because
Yeah.
there are such great disparities where many of our military family cannot afford to purchase in the communities which they live in. They
Really?
can't. Their BAA will not afford them to live comfortably in Hampton Roads right now.
So they're living.
So then what happens? They're like, well, I can't purchase. I can't qualify. I have to rent. But right now, the rental rates are through the roof.
Mm-hmm.
So they're just stuck in areas that might not be where they would choose to
Portsmouth.
be. If the Portsmouth has great areas, don't you dare discount Portsmouth.
I'm just asking. I'm really just asking. Like, is it
Every city
Every city has some low
an area that
Virginia
may be
Beach does.
less than, yes,
they
it
do.
does.
The only difference is
Every-
Virginia Beach is bigger.
Every city, and I have to tread lightly to not go against the rules as a real estate agent, but I will say this: every city has its areas that one might find less desirable or more desirable.
It just depends on the person,
Uh,
or just in
depends
general.
on-
People,
Look at the
somebody
statistics.
common sense.
Look at the
would-
numbers.
Okay.
yeah,
Look at the
it
numbers.
may be less desirable, meaning the crime in that area. It may be less desirable because of the type of product that they could move into. Less desirable because of connotation. Maybe it's a perfectly fine
District,
area,
school
but
districts.
someone
True.
said, "Oh, don't move over there," and so now people don't
Now
want
it's
to
in your
move
mind,
over
yeah.
there. It's a perception.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but it might be perfectly fine
Right.
because if you got a roof over your head that's safe and sound, it's perfectly fine.
fine.
But it's important to know that our military sacrifices and does so much for us. And being in Hampton Roads, we often take military families for granted because they're just part of our fighter.
It's the economy, really.
But they're right now struggling to purchase a home while stationed in this area.
Mm-hmm.
Now, with that said, many of our cities have started initiatives where they have first-time home buyer program, where they have programs that are not just for first-time buyers, where you can get grant monies for your down payment and your closing costs. And a lot of them are very successful. The issue is education. We've got to get it out there, let people know about it.
That this
Yeah.
there.
But you mentioned Portsmouth. The city of Portsmouth has a fabulous program for first-time buyers where they will give them the money for their down payment and closing costs. And they do have to meet a certain requirements. But if
What are they?
they have to take a class,
Yeah, you got to do it online. I took the class.
take a
Online
class. You also have to show viable income.
Mm-hmm.
You can't make too much. You can't make
Yeah.
too little.
Got to have insurance on it.
But they have expanded some of the parameters to make it more open for others. And I've had people get as much as $14,000
For a down payment.
for down payment and closing costs. And they only had to bring as little as $1,500 to the table.
Because Portsmouth want to keep you in the city. They don't want people leaving it. They're trying to clean it up.
I
But
was
you
at a
left.
breakfast this morning with the mayors of the 7 cities.
Right.
The discussion was the Sheba report, and that is the state of housing in Black America
Mhm.
for 2023. Comes out every year. It was interesting to hear what the various mayors had to say about what they're trying to do in their cities. But what struck me most was, unlike previous years, the mayors of the 7 cities have now decided on collaboration.
Finally.
The what?
So they have decided to now form an alliance and collaborate together
To
help everyone with affordable housing and to make more mixed use housing, whereas you can't just say this type of area or that type of area. It's just an area that has mixed use.
What's
types of-
mixed use though?
Mixed use would be, you can't say, oh, they live in the high-end neighborhood. Oh, they live in the low-end neighborhood. No, we can make a blended community of mixed type properties and you can't tell who paid what.
What's going on, everybody? One half of the Hustle and Motivate crew here, Marcus. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon, comment. Let us know what you enjoyed about today's episode. Let us know what you didn't enjoy. We look forward to your feedback and seeing you on the next episode of the Hustle and Motivate.
I don't want to just sell real estate. I want to be able to educate and teach my buyers and my sellers what's going on and how this can help change the trajectory of your family's life.
Mhm.
If you own a home, your kids are ready to go to college. Instead of going out here and getting a bunch of student loans,
You pull from the equity.
maybe you can pull from some of your equity from your home and be your own banker and put your kids through college.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of education that's still to be had. So I don't just look at myself as a real estate agent, a real estate broker who sells houses. I'm a person who helps to educate the community so that they can be their best selves, and so that they can thrive.
I
And
agree.
and I love what I do. I'm good at it. I'm great at it. So my clients benefit from that.
And that leads into why no more design?
I will always have design in my life, and I still do it.
Okay. No more wedding design. How about that?
And I will.
Okay.
I will. I may not market myself and go out after business,
Mm-hmm.
but if it's right, if a right fit for me and my schedule permits, I will still
do it.
produce events and design events. I have the innate awareness to understand when I do something, I give it more than 1,000% or I won't do it at all. So if my schedule won't permit, and if my headspace won't permit, then it's best I take a pause rather than just gimme all the jobs I can get.
Mm-hmm.
And then someone is not going to get a good job.
Mm-hmm.
Because as a creative, as a designer, I'm paid for my creativity. Your creativity is stifled by certain things.
Yep.
It's stifled by life events.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a few years ago, I went through a divorce.
Mm-hmm.
That changed my headspace temporarily. So I didn't feel that I could be in the headspace I needed to be for my client.
Mhm.
And I'm not going to give them watered down life event.
Mhm.
So then as that life phase passed through and, you know, on this side of it, I will still do events for referrals, for friends and family, if I have time and the headspace to give them my all. If I don't, then I will refer them to somebody else. I don't tell people, I just don't do that anymore. I do it when it makes sense.
What lessons did you learn being going across those different spaces? Because I look at it like you've always operated with not all your eggs in one. You've always had plan Bs. You've always had different things you could do. Why do you think it's important as a business owner, entrepreneur, to not put all our focus on just one avenue and potentially always thinking in the back of your mind, the what if?
That's a really good question. It is a little bit of a double-edged sword because you know, lack of diversity, you know, if you don't diversify,
Mm-hmm.
you can find yourself like done.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what do I do with myself now? And desperation, that desperation can cause you to make decisions that you might not otherwise make.
Mm-hmm.
So I operate from a I'm always ready so I don't have to get ready standpoint. But with that said, I also have to carefully know, as I said a minute ago, when it's time
Mm-hmm.
to tweak or change or move differently. Because the worst thing you can do in this, in a relationship, in a friendship, in life, is stay past that expiration date. And we often want to hold on. Sometimes because it's just, we put in so much work. We just like, I put in all this time and effort. I can't let it go. Or it's, you know, fear of what's on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
But what if stepping over the fear the other side is your next greatest gift.
True.
But you're so
True.
busy staying over here.
Trying to fight
Trying
because
to
you
fight.
think it's you're admitting you failed.
Right. So my failures are my greatest success. They taught me my greatest lesson.
Mhm.
I hated them when I was going through them.
Mhm.
But when I look back with a clear level mind, had it not been for my darkest moment, I wouldn't be enjoying the light that I have right now. And I wouldn't know the difference. You don't know how good it is till you really felt how bad it can be.
Mhm.
Like, you know, the lukewarm space is a suck.
Mhm.
Lukewarm. Like, yeah, whatever. I'll just go with the flow. I don't go with flow. I create flow.
Mm.
You just, yeah, no. I'm not a go with the flower. Now, I can move within spaces if it makes sense for me. But, you know, I like to drop a pebble and watch all the ripple.
See what will
Yeah.
flow
Yeah.
the best.
Exactly. See what could happen, because it could ripple this way, it could ripple that way. I have a lot of things that I live by. My life mission is be the light you wish to see in this world.
Mm.
I say that all the time. I want to be that light that I just don't see enough of in the world. My other one is God's plans are far greater than our wish. And I say that to myself quietly and out loud multiple times a day. I said it just driving here when the guy cut me off like he was a bat out of hell in his big old wide-hipped pickup, and he cut me off, and I was like, you know, using choice words, and I said, you know what? God's plans are greater than our wishes. He might be rushing home, might be an emergency. It's not just that he's a jackass. It's that is. And so, but in all seriousness, I have to say that to myself, and I believe that God's plans are greater than my wishes, because oftentimes we pray for things and we get upset when they maybe don't happen or don't happen soon enough.
Mhm.
But then somewhere down the line, you go, oh my goodness, I'm so glad that didn't work.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yep.
That's God's plans being greater than our wishes. And if I keep reminding myself of that, that's what keeps me going. And that's what helps me be a better person to the next person. Because I've learned after enough birthdays that, you know, you get to choose. You get to pick and choose how you move through this life.
Mhm.
You can choose to be bitter and upset because somebody else is winning and it feels like you're not, and all the things. Or you can really embrace life and live with intention and live on purpose. I don't want to just get up every day and get showered and dressed and go about my day and then come home and get showered and go to bed. I want to really live with intention.
Mhm.
And you guys have met, you met my mom, and she passed last year. She was 98. She did not leave one stone unturned.
Mm.
Matter of fact, you photographed her 90th birthday party up in D.C. Right. That was her 90th party. And did she not show up?
She
You
did.
have to do the 9.
Yep. Wow.
She left it-
She left it all on
One
here.
day. She did not miss a beat. And my mom, if you called her on the phone, if you stopped by the house, if she was having a good day, a bad day, her shoulders hurting, her head hurting, whatever, and you said, hey, how you doing? Oh, I'm blessed by the best and highly favored, claiming my blessing. Rolled off her tongue every single time. And I think that is what, that innate, that feeling, that thought, that belief,
Got to you, bro.
that is what got her through life. My dad passed 14 years ago. We thought, oh my God, they were high school sweethearts. She's going right behind him. No, she had that feeling of, I'm here for a reason. God put me here to spread his light to others. And I am truly blessed. And every day I claim more blessings. And so now that she's gone, I feel like in some ways it's real creepy, but I'm morphing into my mom.
Mhm.
Not a bad person to morph into.
It's like 98, hard
but
to beat.
She tried so hard to get to 100.
Yeah.
She wanted to be on the smoker car
Mhm.
today, though. She really did. We used to joke about that. But she just did not, I wasn't with her at the moment, but I like to believe she left here with a smile on her face because that's just who she was and how she was. At her homegoing, we had her nails painted. We had her favorite lipstick on. We had all the things that she would have done. Do not let her be caught out here looking crazy. But she was just from that era. They just thought differently and they moved differently. And so being someone who had both parents born in 1925, and they taught me of the firsthand struggle of being Black in America and trying to raise 5 kids, it just it impacted me and made me move differently. So I have learned a lot of lessons along the way, some from my parents, some from just lifing. And at this stage of my life, I'm in a really good place, and I'm just real happy to be here. Sometimes I wake up like, thank God I woke up today. I really wake up first thing thanking God I woke up today. That's not afforded to many.
I think that's when you reach the ultimate peace too. When like you say, that generation, that era, my grandmother in that era, she's still here. Every day is just a new day of. I ain't gonna sweat the small stuff because every day is a new day of just blessings. I'm just happy to be here to see, my children, my grandchildren, my great-grandchildren, my great-great-grandchildren. I'm just happy to be in the land. And when I know, because I feel like my grandmother has reached the point where she's done all she knows she gonna do. So every day from her now, she just chilling.
Every day now
I'm
is
good
great.
because there's nothing in the world that can make her lose that peace that she has garnered. And I think when everybody reaches that level of peace, it's almost like the world just every day is a new day. There's a new challenge, but it's like, deal with it.
I used to hear people say, and I have an older sister, and she said, your life does not begin until you hit it.
Yeah.
And
I've heard that.
I hope that's true.
I was like, oh, not
Because I'm tired, man. I'm tired.
Let you start fresh.
Yeah.
so true. And let me tell you something. Something happens in your, between 50, 52. You all of a sudden have this wisdom that you just, where did I just say it?
Mm-hmm.
So, life really, in a lot of ways, and I thought it was just cliche, whatever. But life really becomes different. And for me personally, I have found my life has evolved with every decade.
Mm-hmm.
So, my 20s and my 30s were both full of hustle and grind and making sure my kids were good and they were, in schools and that my house was built and all the things. And then as I moved through my 40s, it was kind of a wonky, sort of grinding, but also coasting. And then when you hit the 50s, a lot of what you spent so much time grinding for isn't all that important.
Mm-hmm.
Say, how you doing? And this is life. Sorry for your love, people who don't embrace it and get upset when they have to put candles on the cake for their birthday. I am embracing all that life has to bring me.
Because you can look through 6 decades of everything.
Maze balls, right?
And
look this fabulous. Who knew?
True, right. True. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's people at 60 who can't.
They don't even
move.
look 60. I mean, they look.
Can't even move.
Yeah.
Because they're so. Because their bodies are
I
so.
saw a lady.
beat up.
She said she was turning 62. I think it was Saturday. I was at an event. She said, "Ain't no way in the world." She said, "No, sis, she was older."
No,
She looked.
You met my sister at my mother's party. We look a lot alike.
Yes. Yeah.
Boy, I ain't gonna tell her age.
She's older than you.
She's a lot older than
So
she wouldn't care about us. Just 75.
see,
Hey, no.
We look alike. We
that's what the old people say.
But now this lady, she looked like she lived a hard life, and I was like, yo, you don't look the 60-somethings that I know.
Yeah.
They don't look.
It's
60.
very important, and I'll share this with both of you since you're way younger than me. It's very important to take care of yourself mentally, physically, holistically, financially. It's important to take care of yourself in a well-rounded way. Your future body depends on the care you're giving your today body. Take care of yourself today, because I promise you, your future body is going to thank you. If you can reach my age and not be on a plethora of medication in this day and age, and some of it is not even your fault. Some of it is environmental.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, we have to work even harder. But if you can take good care of your body and your mind, and as early as possible, especially as younger Black men, if you can get into therapy, and specifically childhood therapy, childhood trauma therapy, because we all have traumas that no matter how great our childhood was, we all have experiences that we experienced in our childhood that kind of jacked us up a little.
I say my teens.
No matter, you may have witnessed things in your early childhood that were part of your formative years that
Okay, yeah.
you may or may understand are part of what made you tick.
Okay.
But the sooner you can get your head around that and figure out how to maneuver better through the triggers of those moments,
Like,
the better off you will be and the better off your future partner will be,
cool.
especially for our men, because it was designed systemically for you guys to not be well.
Yeah.
It was designed in the 60s and the 70s
Yeah.
to remove the head of the household, to remove the Black man from the head of the household.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to remove him first with infiltrating heroin and all kinds of drugs into the community.
Yep.
Once we get him strung out, he's going to get kicked to the curb out of the house. Oh, now the wife is, or the mom or whoever is going to have to go get a
Government
job
assistant.
and leave the house, leaving the kid. So now we have to get all these programs. Now we're going to get them hooked on the program.
And it's done.
And so it was not by accident, it was by design. And so you guys are the product of ancestors and generations that experienced that. And you are the product of their traumas. So the traumas you have to heal are not your own. They are from generations before you. And the sooner you can get therapy and help for that, the better off you will be as people. It's a process.
It's a process. I think I'm getting.
And I will tell you, you never arrive because we continue to experience life. You never arrive. You just continue to work on the evolution. But the sooner you start,
The better. I'll
better.
be.
Yeah.
I like
And you'll be a better person for your future children, your future spouse, your future client. You'll just be a better person for that journey because we can't help what our ancestors went through.
Mhm.
Wasn't at their hand. It was forced. Whatever you want to say, however far back you want to take that to, or whatever land your family originated from. We all originated one spot, but I'll stop there. Anyway, you can't undo that, but you can cut it off at the head of how much further you.
Like it.
Wow.
We got a lot.
What happens when you start hitting the 50s and 60s?
I thought you didn't want to talk in front of the camera, Miss Carla. We at least got 2 hours worth of content here to talk.
Carla, I really appreciate you once again. She doesn't talk often on camera. This might be the only time you've seen her on the
Probably
interview
only.
in a long time. And it might be the last time. We'll see. But wisdom she gave and what you have given us. And where are you going? Will decided to get up and walk off camera, guys. We're just gonna put that in there. He just That does what he wants.
And this is what they do. And I put both of them in
So many.
timeout often.
He does what he
Usually Marcus,
He
but
does what he wants. And no, now I like to point out while we wrapping up, I'm the child. I'm good. That's the problem.
I'm a problem.
Pandemic out of one of the man that came out of the pandemic, I left out peaceful. That's the militant one now. That's not the quiet one. I'm the quiet one. I'm the one that sit back and observes.
I get you.
That's the one right
the
there.
post-COVID Will is a little Martin Luther.
It's very
Right, Malcolm X.
way more militant than what he is. Just want to put that out there. I've been chilling.
Y'all should have never gave me time to sit around and read.
So Yeah.
I was focused on photos, out living my life in these streets. Had no time to focus on nothing else. You take all that away from me.
That's what he's going.
That's what he's going
That's
with.
what you're gonna do. We're gonna let you have that.
Carla, we appreciate you, love
I
you
appreciate you guys
once
so much. Thank
again.
you.
Remember,
Cool.
this woman
Yeah, thank
looks
you.
60s, in her 60s, by the way,
Well, not
goals.
60.
or early 60s. Goals, Black don't crack. Just had to put that out. We stand the test of time.
Available.
Available. Come get us for the secrets. But we appreciate you, Will. Go ahead and do your thing, bro.
Man, we appreciate you, Miss Carla. Where can they find you at?
She ain't got my social media, did she? Sorry.
You say this.
Instagram, carlawalker.realestatePro.
Mm-hmm.
I am on Facebook. I think it's HR home.
Carla Walker.
Log with me.
There you go.
I am with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, RW Town Realty, which is the merger of the former Rosenwamble and former Berkshire Hathaway.
Okay.
For short, RW Town Realty. And I have a website, which is HamptonRoadsHomeSearch.com. Oh, that's my Facebook, HR Home
We'll search.
or
And that's it.
Facebook. One of those. Just look up Carla Walker Realtor, Hampton Roads, and you'll find me.
Done. Here.
Will.
Hey, man, we appreciate y'all listening to the Hustle and Motivate podcast and watching it at this point. And always remember, respect the hustle if you earn from it and motivate others in the process. We'll see y'all on the next.
What's going on, world? One half of the Hustle and Motivate podcast here is Will Hawkins. So we appreciate y'all checking out today's episode. If you have anything you'd like to say, hate, love, don't care, leave it in the comment box below. Like and subscribe. Either way, we gonna win. See y'all on the next episode.